Flame by Rebecca Yarros is the most daunting book I have ever owned, because it is in fact 786 pages long. And the biggest book apart from Fourth Wing that I've read is The Atlas Complex, which was 600 pages. I don't think I've read anything as big as that. It's low-key terrifying to me. And I had this epiphany the other day while on the phone to Ben while I was at work, was that the only reason it's daunting to me is because I am a reader and I have so many books I want to read that having this take up so much of my time is quite nerve-wracking, because there are so many of the books I think I want to get to read, I want to get to read those, and I know that I'm not going to be able to because all my attention is going to be on Iron Flame, which is ridiculous, because if I wasn't like a long time reader, I'd just pick up this book and it would take me however long it would take me to read. I'm still daunted by this, but having read the first page, I'm not as scared as I thought I would be, purely because it's reading just like Fourth Wing. Literally just the first page, it read like Fourth Wing, and we are starting exactly where we left off, which I absolutely adore when authors do that, because there's no second guessing at what's happened in between, especially when the last page of the first or like second book is such a cliffhanger. I fully expect this to be 5 stars, but I also fully expect myself to get a bit bored around the 400 page mark, purely because I feel like it's going to take me a while to read, and if I don't like devour all the information in one go, I'm gonna spend too much time trying to think about what's happened, what's going on, stuff like that. I don't think I have any theories for this, other than I have a really horrible feeling that with Venin and Wyvern now being discovered as being real by Violet, that they're somehow going to have to encounter the truth again with her mother, General Sorrengail. So I feel like something's gonna happen and they're gonna have to stand up to her mum and be like, why have you been lying? Why haven't you been protecting the civilians? Why are you not doing anything about it? Like, why aren't you working together? And then it's gonna be a whole other rebellion, and I have a feeling that her mum is gonna do, like, basically like outcast her. Like, you're not my daughter, I don't know you. And then I feel like Mira, Violet's sister, is gonna be in a really like tricky situation, because Mira's a very morally good character, I feel like, but I feel like she doesn't know Brennan's alive. Surely. So, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like something's gonna happen where Violet is now a part of the revolution. They don't call it the rebellion anymore, do they? The revolution, I think that's what it said on the last page of Fourth Wing. And, well, no, now here's my question. Does General Sorrengail know that her son Brennan is alive? Surely not. If Violet didn't know. These are all the questions I have, and I can't wait to figure out exactly the answers to those. I predict this will take me maybe 14 days max, 10 days, just because I know my reading speed, I know what I've got going on these next 2 weeks. I am starting this 4 or 5 days after Fourth Wing. I read a page or 2 last night, but I am officially starting this evening, and so is Megan, because we're still buddy reading this together. So we're both starting this tonight. Maybe I'll get Megan to like film a little clip of how she's feeling about Fourth Wing and put it in here. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I'm so beyond excited to see what happens in the second year, because it says the second year, the deadly second year at Basgiath away. So I feel like that gives us an idea that they do go back to Basgiath. Also, just realised, if I pronounce any of these names wrong, please don't come for me. Yeah, so I'm reading this 5 days apart from finishing Fourth Wing. I don't think I could leave it any longer, because I feel like I'm still in that world, I'm still in that mindset, I'm still in the flow of reading. Let's see how long we can read for today. I've got the gym this evening. I've just gone and had my implant done, so I'm feeling a little bit fragile. No, I'm really hoping that this book keeps the pace up, keeps the excitement up. Yeah, so let's get to it. Let's start Iron Flame. Oh god, I'm so excited. I literally can't tell you. I feel like I'm going to start like jumping around in my seat. Wish me luck. This is huge for me. You guys know that I am very open and honest about how much of a slow reader I am, and I am quite self-conscious about it because I have all these books and I want to read them all. Luckily for me, I have time to read this because I'm 4 books ahead of my Goodreads schedule. Don't tell me how, I think it's probably audiobooks. Anyway, without further ado, let's read Iron Flame.
Okay, so it has been nearly 3 weeks since we have spoken to each other, but that does mean that I have covered quite a bit of Iron Flame in that time. So, you saw me start the book. Now my plan was to update you with the initial chapters, and then I got carried away. Just 2 mini sausages having a row first thing in the morning. What do you expect? Anyway, I got carried away, severely carried away, because I am 318 pages in and on chapter 28. How about we call this the midway check-in, because we're almost 50%. I now have my filming buddy. Can't film a video without her. I've made some notes about things I want to talk about. So, pacing. I actually genuinely believe the pacing of this is pretty spot on. I think my personal issue with this is that I read Fourth Wing and then took 2 days out and went straight into Iron Flame. And so, for me, I don't feel like we're really that much further along in the story, although this is a whole different book and we're halfway through, if that makes sense. I do like the pacing of it, but I kind of feel like I said, I am 318 pages into this. Bearing in mind, I've actually not picked this up in nearly a week now. We are 318 pages into this, and like I said before, this is going to be a spoiler, like includes spoilers. So if you don't like spoilers, exit now. We're at the point where slowly but surely, other people around Violet, such as Riddick, Sawyer, and Rhiannon, are starting to realise that there might be just even the slightest chance of corruption in Basgiath War College. And that is great, because I finally feel like, yeah, someone's listening, someone's finally seeing what's going on. The only frustrating thing is, nobody's really seeing the real issues. What they're seeing is Nolan, the healer, being taken for granted. And who on this God's green earth thought that bringing Jack Barlow back would be a good idea? I'd love someone to explain that to me, please. Hello, can I help you? I'm just a piece of meat now. I am a little bit fed up of Violet and her attitude towards Xaden. Now, I fully agree with her. He does not get to choose what secrets he can and can't keep and ask for blind trust when she's done the same thing and he gets mad at her for it. What happened to the whole, like, I know you're not weak and feeble, I know you're not fragile and you're very strong. He literally calls her violence, yet doesn't believe that she can help them. I have one of the sassiest 7-month-old sausage dogs. You say I don't. I just don't actually believe that you putting your mouth around your sister's neck is worth your time. Right, what else did I want to get into? Plot developments, character arcs. Are the stakes rising? That's a question I ask myself. Yes, they are, because Violet is slowly but surely realising that she can trust Rhiannon. Jessinia, isn't it? Jessinia. She can trust Jessinia, and she has done, because she's been asking for these books from the archives. Riddick and Sawyer are slowly becoming my 2 favourite characters in these books, if I'm really honest with you. I absolutely adore their like happy-go-lucky, how they present themselves in the book. In terms of like pacing and what's going on, like plot development, character development, I am not enjoying Iron Flame as much as Fourth Wing. I feel like Fourth Wing was that like boom, you know? And now Iron Flame is just like, and here's the rest of the story. So I don't really know how I feel about that. In terms of like, I can feel what's gonna happen, I'm excited. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a huge book. Also may or may not have spoiled Onyx Storm for myself the other day, but we're not gonna go into that. Really enjoying the friendship developing between Imogen and Violet, and Bodhi and Violet. Not a massive fan of how jealous Rhiannon is, but I can understand with the whole secret keeping. Okay, so Violet has just gone to... Can't remember the place. Okay, so Violet has just gone to Samara because Professor De Vera has insinuated that Xaden is hurt. So she's gone to Samara. Turns out Xaden was hurt, not hurt anymore in the 8 hours it took her to fly. They have the spicy sexy time. in the showers. And now she's like, oh shit, I haven't been given leave. I've just left Basgiath War College out on a whim. And now she's spending time, instead of like being like, okay, well you're fine now, I can go back. She's just chilling there. Poor decisions considering Colonel... This is how long it's taken. Like I put the book down a week ago to give myself a break. As you will have seen in a previous video, I was in a horrific book slump and currently am. Colonel Varish is very clearly out to get Violet and her friends. Like the amount of attacks they've had on them, ambushes. And she's like, yeah, I'll just chill in Samara. I'm excited to see where this goes because I want something to happen. I really want us to go back to Brennan and I really want Mira to find out about Brennan because I feel like some small part of Mira will understand, but I also feel like there might be a twist that like where Mira just doesn't defect to the rebellion or the revolution, sorry. I want something to happen. I need some sort of dragon fight, some sort of revelation, someone to see what Colonel Varish is really like. But I have a feeling the next couple of chapters are all going to be about Violet coming back to Basgiath, her getting absolutely ripped into by Colonel Varish for not having leave, her nearly dying, someone finding out some secret about what's going on that they shouldn't. I don't know, I feel like there's going to be some unexpected deaths soon too, and I just don't know if I can handle that. Also, I'm trying so hard not to crease the spine, but I have, you can't even see it, I have got a tiny little crease, but that's because I've been on this bit forever, so I haven't really been opening the book properly. But this is so daunting. This is the biggest book I've ever read. So wish me luck. I will probably catch up with you. I want to say when I'm page like 550. I think that's quite fair. 75% of the way through, we'll see how we're doing. And then it's the home stretch. Wish me luck.
He was that friend!
I am going to be really honest with you, this is really hard for me to review and I most definitely should have done it straight after I finished reading it, but as you can see I was in a little bit of a crisis. So we started Iron and Flame where we finished off in Fourth Wing, where Violet discovers that her brother Brennan, who she has believed has been dead for 6 years, is actually alive, and her boyfriend Xaden knew the whole time. Yeah. So we go throughout the book. Violet overcomes a lot of adversity in the sense of revealing secrets that her and her schoolmates at Basgiath should have known but did not know. She then literally fights one of her teachers to the death and wins. And then not only that, she steals half the students and takes them to the rebellion, which is now called the Revolution, headed by Brennan, dead big brother. What a whirlwind. I only rated this 4 stars. The world building was great. Obviously we didn't need much of it because we had it all in Fourth Wing. Character development, phenomenal. Absolutely insane. Imogen, we love Imogen. Bodhi and Violet's relationship, I think I spoke about this earlier, loving how that's coming on. Characters I hate. Colonel Varish. Yeah, Colonel Varish. And Jack Barlow. Need I say it again? Someone brought him back as a Venin, and I think that's a really, really stupid idea. Only thing it has done has created more questions about Onyx Storm, because someone during the fight said, and I believe it was actually Mr. Jack Barlow himself, there's more about half the year. Does that mean that's what Onyx Storm's going to be about? Also, can we talk about the ending? What on earth happened with Xaden's dream? And was it a dream? Because it has me questioning. It has been a month since I've read this, and every so often I do get like a little flashback and I'm like, whoa, what happened? Why did that happen? One thing I will say about this book is I think it is entirely too long. Absolutely unnecessary to be this long. Not only did it mean that I had to try really hard not to crease the spine of my book, but I also had to try really hard to stay engaged. After the controversy around Miss Rebecca Yarros, I was reading the book purely for the story and purely for the fact that I know that so many people love it. And yes, this was great. I think what got me and what created the 4 stars was the fact that it took me over a month to read it. And I was stuck about 49% of the way through for about 3.5 weeks of that month. What I will tell you it has done has made me incredibly appreciative of thick fantasies. And it means that I'm not quite as daunted to go into a court of thorns and roses. Don't know why I couldn't say that there. A court of thorns and roses. But what it has done has kind of put me into the world of dragons. And I really like dragons. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about ACOTAR. Anyway, I digress. Rebecca Yarros' writing was still, in my eyes, a alternate Harry Potter universe in the fact that Fourth Wing, in comparison, was happy-go-lucky, daisies and sunshine, and Iron Flame was death to all wish to fight. Do you know what I mean? I hold this book, and I'm proud of myself for reading it, to be honest, but I hold this book, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I can't remember half the stuff that happened. The stuff that I mentioned in the video because it was worth mentioning. I feel like everything else, like I did not need an entire couple of pages of a sexy time shower scene between Xaden and Violet, when in the back of my mind I was thinking, oh my god, Violet's going to be killed by Colonel Varish because she's just deserted Basgiath on a whim because her dragon made her emotional. And she's going, oh, it's alright, I'm here now. I can't do that. In my mind I'm thinking, go home, go home. But she was about to get murdered. So I don't know how I feel about that. I will be reading Onyx Storm soon. I don't know when. At the time that this video is coming out, I still have not read Onyx Storm. I am waiting for the paperback. Depending on how big the book is, I might download it on Kindle and get a head start. But you will see me read, react, review, and portray emotions to Onyx Storm. I'm very excited. If you have anything to say about this book, if you want to ask any questions, if there's anything I missed or you want to discuss, please pop it in the comments, because I do love discussing these big popular books with you, because I know we all have separate opinions. So, without further ado, thank you so much for watching today's video. Like I said, if you've got any opinions, comments, discussions, pop them in the comments below. Please give us a like and subscribe if you want to see next week's video. and if you want to see me react to Onyx Storm when I get to it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a fantastic week. Who let that one off? Oh!
You saw it in HD, in 4K. Bloody hell, you're going to town on that hand. So, excuse me. Don't play that off as a yawn.